And so how does the patriarchy not help men? It's, first of all, it tells men that your only value comes from your ability to provide and protect. That, just that in and of itself is problematic, because you have already stripped these men of their ability to see value in themselves in any other way other than what they can provide and protect. Like, it's just like, it's literally boiling their value down to their body. It is boiling down men's value to their physical capabilities. Like, are you physically and mentally capable to work in a way that I want you to work? Yes or no? Yes, you are valuable. No, you are not valuable. Does that not sound like ableism, which is one of my 6 narcissistic social hierarchies? You see how they're connecting? It is literally telling people that you are not worthy if you do not meet my physical and my mental capacity to work the way I want you to work. Now you're disabled. Now I'm pathologize you. Now you're worthless. You see what I'm saying? You have no value to me. That's the narcissistic spell. That's the narcissistic programming. Like, that's what every narcissist does ever, rather it be an entity, a state, a country, a person. They tell their victim, you are not worthy of anything. You are worthless unless you do what I say, unless you show up in the way that I tell you to show up. And then if I can validate your showing up the way I want you to show up, then you're worthy. Then you can hold your head up high. Then you can be proud of yourself. Isn't that disgusting? Isn't that nasty? That's what the patriarchy does to men. It literally tells them you're not valuable unless your body can work for me, unless your brain can work for me. So men grow up with the thought of like, okay, I am only good if I can work. I am only good if I can fight, if I can be physically domineering, and then if I can work. And so because those are the only 2 traits that you're allowed to have as a man, and then of course the patriarchy demonizes anything that is the feminine, which is anything that is creation, anything that is love, anything that is nurturing, anything that is like just existing, just being. The feminine is like it is the energy of being. The feminine energy is the energy of being. The masculine energy is the energy of doing. It is always yin and yang. All of everything and throughout all of nature is about balance and harmony. It is about working together to make some sort of sustainable ecosystem. That is inside of every single one of us. Every single one of us has masculine and feminine energy. Every single one of us needs to be okay and secure with just being, just existing, without having to do anything, without having to execute, without having to prove our worth. We are all worthy just existing. And then we also all have that doing energy, that energy of like, okay, let me get something done. Okay, I've noodled on it, I've thought about it, but now it's time to execute. Now it's time to express. Now it's time to externalize whatever it is that I have created inside of me. So we all have the creation inside, internal energy that is our feminine. And then we all have our external doing energy that is the masculine. But men are not literally told from birth, you are not allowed to just exist. You are not allowed to feel worthy and valuable in your skin if you just live your life as a human being breathing. How does that show up in a man raised under the patriarchy? So how that shows up is... it shows up in like, if they have been sufficiently indoctrinated, which most men have, and they believe these things, then they adopt, then they have the bug, they have the program, they have the virus, they have the narcissistic virus, and they start doing the narcissistic things. Like it's just like, I don't know how, I'm doing a poor job of explaining it, but I don't know how to explain it better than that. It's like if he believes that he can't do any other emotion other than anger, then all of his emotions are going to show up as anger. And then a man who's all of his emotions show up as anger. One, they're going to be dangerous, because anger is a dangerous emotion. It's a very hot emotion. It's a very uncontrollable emotion if you're not an emotionally stable person. Which people who lean on anger is their main and only emotion are emotionally unstable, because they don't have a balance of expressing other emotions. So it's like, is that so here's the thing. I guess I don't think people have a good vision of what a man not raised under the patriarchy would look like. And I would say turn to your nearest trans woman or, queer man and talk to them, have a conversation. And that's not to say those are not, men raised under the patriarchy. But again, when you have like a deep truth about yourself that you literally cannot fight, the social system, the programming doesn't work on you. The programming does not work. It can't work on you because you know your truth. When you know your truth, you can't, no one can tell you who you are because you know who you are. Like, so what does a world with of people that are not raised under the patriarchy? It looks like a world of queer people. Like, if the world was not patriarchal, if the world did not condemn humans who enjoyed same-sex activities, which again, once you've deconstructed all of it, it's just like, y'all don't understand how crazy that is. It's just like, so okay, so what does it look like? It's like, it's essentially like, it's a world where men are allowed to be queer without judgment, without like fetishization, without like all those men who are in the closet in the Republican place. They were like, a closet wouldn't exist. Like everyone would be able to show up as in whatever proportion of masculine and feminine energy is inside of them. Like, however, like whatever that looks like every single one of us is made up of a very unique combination of elements. And that includes our gender programming. The narcissist loves to, because again, the narcissism is a external energy. It is an energy of like, I only believe what I can see. I only like value things that are external, things I can see, things I can feel, things I can touch. It only recognizes gender and gender expression by our physical body parts. It was just so silly. But like, again, from people who only look at the world from the external, from the male perspective, from the masculine, the world has been built on the masculine perspective. It doesn't seem like a crazy idea. It doesn't seem like a crazy idea to be like, oh yeah, there are men and there are women. And in order to, come together and make a baby, it has to be a man and a woman. And so that is the biologically natural way that all people should be. I understand the train of logic from an external point of view, but when you take into consideration the internal point of view, like the fact that everyone has a different inside, like, yeah, our outsides are quite similar, but the insides of us, name two people who have the same DNA. I'll wait. Someone's going to say identical twins. That's fine, but they have different fingerprints. Name two people who have the same fingerprints. I'll wait. Exactly. But, fingerprints are external. And someone's going to say identical twins. And, we're not talking about them right now. They are the exception to the rule. I'm talking about in general. In general, everyone has their own, a different DNA. And that is internal. And so internal, inside of all of us, we all have different personalities. Like, I just don't understand how everyone in this world we know has different DNA, has different personalities, has different experiences, has different upbringings, has different, like, we even have different taste in food. Like, I hate cucumbers, I love pickles, but I know people who feel like turning a cucumber into a pickle is the biggest sin in the world. And I'm just like, cucumbers are only born to become pickles in my mind. But it's just like, it's just how everyone is different. So to sit here and say that every single man who is born has to be attracted to only women romantically and sexually, and every single woman that is born has to be attracted to only men romantically and sexually, and there can literally never, ever, 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 ever be anything in between. And if there is something in between, then it's blasphemy, it's bigotry, it's evil, it's demonic. I don't understand. I don't understand the logic. I don't understand the logic. How is that logical? How is that logical? How is that logical? That doesn't make any sense. Does that make sense to you? Because it don't make sense to me. So a world where patriarchy didn't exist would be a world where everyone was queer. Everyone was queer. Everyone was queer. Like, and of course, in the exception, right? Because whenever I look at anything, I always look at everything in the world exists on a spectrum. No matter what it is, if you name a thing, it'll be on a spectrum. I'm just like, this color on the back of my wall is like a dark green, and but this green can range from anywhere from the super lightest green to the darkest of green. My hair ranges from the straightest of straights to the kinkiest of coiliest skin, the lightest of albino to the deepest of darks. Like trees they can be thin trees, they can be thick trees, like it could be tall trees, it could be short trees, like everything exists on a spectrum. And then within those spectrums, and again, if you took statistical probability, you would be with me. There's always a distribution curve that looks like this, right? And the distribution curve is like, this is like, most things will fall in the middle, right? Most things will fall in the middle, but then on the ends, the extremes are on the ends. And so a small amount of people will fall in the extremes, but most people end up here. And so most people would end up in some sort of like, because the ends would be completely straight, like I'm a man and I only like women, and I'm a woman and I only like men. Those would be the extremes, and then literally everyone else would end up in the middle, like I'm a man and I only like sex with women, but I find men attractive. Could be somewhere towards this end where they're like mostly straight, but like they think they're good looking. Same thing over here. It's like, I'm a woman and I think all women look beautiful, but I would never have sex with one. Or like, oh, I would have sex with one, but I wouldn't have a romantic relationship with one. That's another, variation of gender expression or sexuality expression. So it's like, men would be able to admit that they have some sort of physical or emotional or romantic attraction to other men in the same way that women would be able to, like, not to say, I still feel like I feel like being a lesbian is still like, it's like not as taboo, I think, as being, I don't even know if I want to call it taboo. So I feel like people don't take lesbians seriously. It's like, oh, two women, they're just like, they're together because they couldn't find a man, and so they chose each other. I feel like people, especially like straight people, I feel like they see like lesbians as people who couldn't get a man, and like it's just like, and so that's what it looks like for a man to show up and be influenced by the patriarchy. It's really just when they don't value and love themselves, but yet they still find themselves more important than everyone else. That's the narcissism.